What's some advice that you can give to people, entrepreneurs that are going through this, where they are suffering with imposter syndrome? Because I think there's all avenues that you can go to. There's drugs, there's all these different things that people are searching outside of themselves. So what advice can you give to them, Darren?
I just think it's a matter of being open and comfortable enough to find somebody to speak to when you feel different. There's a lot of pressures as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of pressures in the workforce, whether you're part-time or full-time. So many of this youth is addicted to social media, which I
Yes.
used to say it, I think it's pathetic. I think we're coming up on the
Yes.
most effed up generation. And it's not even the 20 and 30-year-olds now. I think it's the teenagers below them are
Yes.
they literally, their entire lives are made by a post, by somebody's reaction. A guy could see another dude that doesn't look as good, that gets more likes. His day is ruined.
Yes.
And I didn't have to deal with that. I just dealt with old school, teasing and verbal bullying and
Mm.
all that. And I think the superiority came from the money and the success. But, as I mentioned on Jay Shetty, you talk about imposter syndrome. Jay's a very dear friend of mine. It's like I made it. I eventually got to the top of the top and had the very rare experience of always looking back at the people that will never get to where I got to in life
Yes.
because of that unhealing, because they're not speaking up, because it was like, look at me, look at you. And, the only way I could stay on top spiritually and mentally and emotionally was, eventually when I started Prince Marketing Group and I started representing some of the most iconic figures in the world, was to be high on opiates.
Yes.
And again, I always say, if I would have done a little bit differently, speaking up, and whether it's to my parents a little bit more, to friends, to loved ones, to any colleagues that were working for me, but I had to fake it till I made it, and within myself internally. I didn't have to fake it till I made it financially, because I already got there. I sold my first company for $1 million at 19 years old. But again, that brokenness, that feeling of self-worth, that wanting to bring everybody along for the ride. All the guy friends that I was buying their friendships, and girlfriends that probably were just there for the ride, and me
Yes.
giving them good lives and spoiling them, and fake friends, because I felt like I needed that. I felt like that validated me, but it wasn't. It just continuously made things worse, and I stayed in that imposter syndrome mindset till I was 38 years old.